What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for another episode of Finessing your Formas. So this time we're getting 3 houses units in Hall of Forms, which begins on 21st November. And this has got Edelgard, Dimitri, Claude and Hubert. Yes, Hubert, we don't have Violet there. So this video is going to be a guide on which skills you should aim to get on your Forma units and why you should get them, what purpose they serve, because you're going to be purchasing this unit. So it's really important to have bang for your buck. And I'll quickly go over the basic rules of Forma units. So all Forma units that you purchase will have neutral IVs, but you can change them with trade fruits, and all Forma units will always have all of their base skills learned. This includes their preferred weapons and preferred skills, so only try to go for super rare and premium skills which you should not be able to easily get, and don't go for, cheaper skills and stuff like that, because it's not really going to be helping. Because we're purchasing a unit here, you need to, just go for the premium stuff. You don't really have to care about having a synergetic kit, just go for the rare stuff. Forma units cannot be merged into other units. However, other units can be merged into a Forma unit, so this could be pretty nice to increase the merge count on these units, but you would require a trade fruit to change their IVs. And you should always go for rally upscales or harsh command for the assists, and for specials go for Ruptured Sky, Blue Flame, or Deadeye in the case of Claude here. So that's just the basic rules, and let us begin with Edelgard. So Edelgard is still a pretty good unit in my opinion because of Victorious Axe, the auto follow-up that it has got, and also the -1 special cooldown. So that allows her to be a pretty nice Gale Force unit. Now, for her axe, you could go with Fire Sweep Axe because that's a 5-star locked weapon. You could go for Dex Swabber or Huge Fan Plus to save 20,000 feathers. Otherwise, just for aesthetics, you could go for the Christmas weapons. It is going to be looking kind of goofy on her. So all of those are options. Of course, Victorious Axe is the best one, but still, it doesn't hurt to have another option that you're going to be having on your unit that you're going to be purchasing. You should go for Ruptured Sky as your special. Blue Flame doesn't really make too much sense with the condition of Victorious Axe. For Slade, in my opinion, the best skill to get here is going to be Heavy Blade 4, because she has -1 special cooldown from her weapon, and this makes Gale Force a 4-turn special. So Heavy Blade 4 is really good, and the true damage is extremely good as well. Sturdy Impact could also be used along with stuff like Bonfire and Ignis. The massive defense increase is going to help you. Now, Distant Foil and Distant Counter are going to be options if you want to make your Edelgard into a legendary Crom check for Arena Assault. Kind of similar to Rinka, Edelgard is also a pretty bulky and hard-hitting axe unit. You could have Distant Foil and Distant Counter, so it is going to be really nice in water season for dealing with stuff like Legendary Leaf and Legendary Crom. And Edelgard has low enough resistance that she's going to be baiting out Legendary Azura as well. So if you park her on a defensive tile, then she can definitely take care of all of those units. So Distant Foil and Distant Counter are only options if you want to go for that kind of Arena Assault check. Otherwise, I think Heavy Blade 4 and Sturdy Impact are much better just for a player phase Edelgard. For Slot B, you need to get Lull Attack Defense, by far the best skill for Slot B. And if you want to have some other options, then you could go for Special Spiral. It's pretty nice with some higher cooldown specials. And Null Follow-Up is also kind of decent for higher invested Edelgards. For Slot C, in my opinion, Time Pulse is the best option you could get, because you could have stuff like Instant Charged Ruptured Sky, which you could trigger twice in a single combat, or you could use it with higher cooldown specials like Ignis or Ether. So Time Pulse is extremely powerful in my opinion with Victorious Axe. You could also go with Pulse Smoke or Panic Smoke. Threaten Attack Defense is also an option, but she does come with Rouse Attack Defense. In my opinion, Time Pulse is just the best one. That's the one I would personally get, honestly. And now we move on to my boy Claude. So in my opinion, Claude is still a pretty decent archer, cavalry archer. He does have Cunning Bow, which is a pretty nice weapon actually, which is really easy to activate. And he does have pretty decent stat spread, honestly, even though we have got stuff like Legendary Leaf, which is, the insane cavalry archer. But still, I think Claude is quite decent. For weapons, he has got some really amazing options. It's up to you which one you want to select. Fire Sweep Bow is a fantastic option for Claude. It's such a good weapon. It's a 5-star locked weapon, and Fire Sweep Bow really helps you in stuff like Ether Raid's defense if you want to use him. Budding Bow has got mini Sturdy Impact, and cavalry units cannot have access to the impact effect, so this bow is extremely powerful in that regard and can really help Claude, honestly. Especially in Ether Raid's defense again. Claude is really good unit in that. Helm Bow has got Lull Speed Defense, which has a solo condition, so it's pretty easy to meet on someone like Claude. Because he's a cavalry unit, so of course it's really easy, and the lull condition can be stacked up with the lull skill that he has already got, or used with desperation and stuff like that. So Helm Bow is a really nice option, and then Spendthrift Bow actually makes even someone like Claude pretty decently bulky because of the -7 attack debuff on the foe. So this can also be a pretty nice option with him, and you could run a 2-turn special with that. So all of these are really good bow options. Personally, I would go with Fire Sweep Bow because it's still 5-star logged and really hard to get. So that's my favorite out of all of these, but you know, all of these options are really strong, honestly. For a special, you could go with Deadeye because Deadeye is going to be present in Hall of Forms here, so that is going to be a pretty nice option. Ruptured Sky is also another one, but Deadeye is, you know, far more unique because it can, you know, get through stuff like damage reduction skills, and it's an archer exclusive special, so why not get that? For Slotty, you want to go with, you know, attack and speed boosting skills. I think attack speed push 4 is by far the best, but Swiss Sparrow 3, attack speed solo, Fury are also options. Not the biggest fan of Life and Death because it reduces your defense and makes you really frail, but Life and Death is a good option if you're using Fire Sweep Bow. You know, as it is, you don't really care about counter attacking, so that helps. And for Slot B already comes with lull speed defense on his base kit, so you could go with lull attack speed. That could help him make a bit bulky with something like Budding Bow or Spendthrift Bow, so that could work. Otherwise, you could go with a Ruse skill because it does have good synergy with Cunning Bow and is really in character with Claude. For Slot C, it's got a bunch of options. Unfortunately, you cannot have Rouse attack speed from Shamir in this Hall of Forms, so that's why I haven't really showed that here, because I think that would have been misleading because you actually cannot get that skill. So you could go for other Rouse skills. It does have good synergy with Cunning Bow, so you could go with Rouse attack defense or Rouse attack resistance. Panic Smoke again does have pretty nice synergy with Cunning Bow, and it's a really good skill for Ether Raid's defense. The Joint Drive skills are just universally really good, so those are also options. And Pulse Smoke can help you in Ether Raid's offense, and it's a pretty decent option, but I would personally go with a Rouse skill. It's a shame that Rouse attack speed is not available here. Then we move on to Dimitri. So unfortunately, Dimitri has not really aged all that well. Even when he came out, he was just a more situational ledgering Ephraim because of the Noble Lance condition. But still, if you do like him a lot, then he's definitely going to be an option, and you could definitely get some premium skills on him. For his weapon, I think its Curdance Plus is an insanely good premium option, which is just so good for setting up Gale Force builds. Spirited Spear from Gatry is also an option. Flowing Lance is a lull attack defense solo condition weapon, and it's from a seasonal unit, so that could also be done. So these three options, in my opinion, are the most solid. You could go with Ruptured Sky because Blue Flame isn't really all that good, especially on a player phase cavalry unit, so Ruptured Sky is better. And you could go with the attack and defense boosting skill for Slot A, like Attack Defense Push or Fury 4. Going for skills which can do self-damage is really good because of how Noble Lance functions, because Noble Lance wants both Dimitri and the foe to be either at full HP or to be not at full HP. So by using these self-recoil skills, you could, not be at full HP, and then if you run Savage Blow, then the other enemies can also not be at full HP. So then his Noble Lance condition is going to be active. So that could be done, but if you want to use a Gale Force build, then Heavy Blade 4 could be used with his high attack. Attack Defense Solo is also an option, but in my opinion, Fury 4 and Attack Defense Push are better. For Slot B already comes with Lull Attack Defense, so it's the best option already, but you could go with the Ruse skill. For Slot C, Rouse Attack Defense is still a 5-star locked skill, so that's a pretty nice option. John Drive Attack is also pretty nice, and Panic Smoke can be a good option for, just panicking all of those annoying buffed foes. At last, we've got Hubert. I guess they couldn't give us Pilot, that would have been too strong, or they didn't want to have all of the melee units for our pool, so that's why they added Hubert. Unfortunately, Hubert faces an insane amount of competition as a red mage who doesn't have a preferred weapon. We have got stuff like Kyria, Fallen Julia, Lysithea, Brave Lysithea. All of these red mages are absolutely absurd and how hard they hit, and they all have stacked preferred weapons. Hubert kind of pales in comparison, but nonetheless, if you want to get him, you can definitely appreciate some premium options. So red tomes don't have much of a variety when it comes to inheritable weapons, which really sucks. His Fox tome is decent as it is, but if you want to save 20,000 feathers, then a Blade tome would be nice, and it's really good with his high attack stat. Other than that, Serpent tome and Candelabra are also options from 5-star logged units, but they aren't really all that good on Hubert, but still, nice alternate option if you want to get something. For special, of course, Ruptured Sky and Blue Flame are to be used. And on Slot A, you should definitely go with Attack Speed Push 4 or Swiss Sparrow 3. Fury 4 does work pretty nicely with his Fogstone because it increases all of his stats by 4, and Fogstone decreases the stats of the enemy during the combat by 4, so basically creates an 8-point stat differential. So all of these options are pretty nice, and Close Counter or Close Foil are only good if you want to use a Blade Tome Close Counter Vantage Hubert. Hubert does have really nice base 39 attack, so with the Blade Tome and Close Counter Vantage build, he can be a really nice Vantage Sweeper in something like Ether Raid's offense. And I always use Close Counter Vantage Nino, and these kinds of units can be extremely powerful with the Blade Tome and a Vantage build, so Close Foil can be helpful there. For Slot B, you could go with Lull Speed Resistance or Lull Speed Attack. Otherwise, Special Spiral is also an option if you want to have an AoE spamming build with Heavy Blade Sacred Seal. That's also an option because of Hubert's high attack stat. For Slot C, Time Pulse is going to be again a very nice and premium option. Can definitely help you offensively. Otherwise, if you're using a Blade Tome, then Attack Speed Oath could be a way of having self buffs basically. Pulse Smoke is an option if you want to use him in Ether Raid's offense with that Close Counter Vantage build, which I just mentioned. It is going to be really good there. And as always, Join Drive skills are just universal. So I hope this video helps you guys. Make sure to share this video with a friend who is thinking of buying a Forma Soul for getting any of these units, because these units are really popular. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support, and if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as bylets after seeing that they were excluded from this Hall of Forms. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.